You know that feeling when you think a company has perfected something tiny and then they somehow make it better? That's exactly what DJI has done with the Neo 2. The original DJI Neo already changed how we think about pocket-sized drones, fun, friendly, and surprisingly capable for its size. But now the Neo 2 arrives, and it feels like DJI took every note from users and said, let's polish this until it flies like a dream. So today, let's dive deep into DJI Neo 2 versus DJI Neo, break down what's actually changed, and find out if this upgrade is worth your attention or your money. Both the DJI Neo and Neo 2 stay true to DJI's mini but mighty design philosophy. The Neo came in around 135 grams, making it one of the lightest and most approachable drones you could buy. It fit easily into a jacket pocket or a small travel pouch, and it was perfect for spontaneous shots, whether that's capturing a sunset hike or filming city skylines from a rooftop. Now, with the Neo 2, DJI kept that same ultra-compact footprint, but added a bit more substance. It weighs slightly more, at roughly 150 grams, but that tiny bump comes with better motor strength, a sturdier frame, and stronger propeller guards. In flight, this translates to more stability, especially in breezy conditions where the original Neo sometimes struggled to stay smooth. The design also feels more premium. The body has a cleaner finish, the joints feel tighter, and overall the Neo 2 gives the impression of a mature product, not a prototype, but a polished successor ready for everyday creators. Here's where DJI made the biggest leap. The original Neo shot 4K at 30 FPS on a 1 by 2-inch sensor and relied on a single-axis gimbal. For quick social media clips, that setup worked fine, but the moment you started doing dynamic moves or side pans, you'd notice subtle tilts and shakes, things you'd have to fix later in editing. The Neo 2 completely changes that experience. While it keeps the same sensor size, DJI has tuned the optics and processing to deliver richer detail, better dynamic range, and improved low-light handling. More importantly, the gimbal is now dual-axis, tilt and roll, meaning your horizon stays perfectly level even during banking turns or diagonal movements. Add in 4K at 60 FPS, and suddenly you've got smoother, more cinematic footage with the option for slow-motion sequences. DJI's updated image processing also gives colors more pop and skin tones a more natural balance. Shadows look deeper, highlights clip less aggressively, and even under cloudy skies, footage feels alive. So if you're someone who loves that buttery, cinematic motion in your travel reels, this is where the Neo 2 wins hands down. You can go straight from the drone to the edit without spending hours stabilizing clips. In the air, both drones feel nimble and precise, but the Neo 2 adds a noticeable level of confidence. The upgraded motors and flight controller algorithms mean it holds position better and resists wind more effectively. The Neo was a great starter drone, light, easy, but sometimes a bit twitchy in gusts. The Neo 2, however, feels like a much more mature flyer. It's calmer in hover, smoother in turns, and transitions are less abrupt. DJI really focused on the flying experience. The controls feel intuitive and connected. Whether you're filming a moving subject or just practicing your flight paths, the Neo 2's stability inspires more creative freedom. Here's one of the biggest functional upgrades: obstacle sensing. The original Neo had only basic downward sensors, good enough for takeoff, landing, and simple hovering, but not much else. That meant indoor flights or tight outdoor spaces required careful piloting. The Neo 2, on the other hand, adds an omnidirectional sensing system that includes forward LiDAR and improved downward and side sensors. This new setup gives the drone a much better sense of its surroundings. It can detect obstacles earlier, adjust its flight path, and avoid collisions autonomously. In real-world use, it's a huge confidence booster. Whether you're flying in a dense forest trail or weaving between light poles during a city shoot, the Neo 2 makes you feel safe. You can focus on your composition instead of panicking about crashing into something. It's still not at the level of DJI's flagship Mavic models, but for a mini-class drone, this is an impressive jump. The Neo 2 uses an updated transmission protocol that gives you clearer video feed and a stronger connection in urban environments where interference is common. If you've ever flown the Neo in a park surrounded by Wi-Fi signals and suddenly lost video feed, you'll appreciate this upgrade. Storage also got a big bump. The Neo 2 doubles the internal memory, jumping from around 22 gigabytes to 49 gigabytes. For short trips or spontaneous shoots, that's a lifesaver. You can record multiple 4K clips without worrying about running out of space or fumbling for a micro SD card. Smart features and app experience. DJI's app integration was already solid with the Neo, offering gesture control, palm takeoff, and subject tracking. But with the Neo 2, everything just feels smoother. Gesture recognition is faster, voice control is more responsive, and the follow me tracking mode locks onto subjects more accurately even when they move unpredictably. The interface looks cleaner, tutorials load instantly, and connection setup is almost foolproof. This might not sound flashy, but it's the kind of refinement that turns a casual gadget into a truly enjoyable creative tool. You spend less time fiddling with settings and more time capturing moments. Battery life hasn't changed drastically. Both drones hover around 18 to 19 minutes of flight time per charge, but where the Neo 2 improves is in efficiency. It manages power better during active movement, meaning you get slightly more usable footage time before the low battery warning kicks in. Also, charging is faster, thanks to better thermal management, and the drone stays cooler even during back-to-back flights, something the Neo struggled with a bit on hot days. So while the numbers don't seem very different, the real-world flying time feels longer and more reliable. Now let's talk money and value. The Neo 2 costs a bit more, but considering the dual-axis gimbal, LiDAR sensing, doubled storage, and 4K at 60 FPS support, it's a justifiable jump. If you're new to drones, skip the Neo and go straight to the Neo 2. It's a more future-proof buy. If you already own the Neo, your decision depends on how you use it. If you mostly capture short clips for social media, your Neo still holds up fine. But if you care about cinematic quality, stabilization, or if you often fly in tighter, obstacle-rich environments, the upgrade will feel significant. To wrap it up, the DJI Neo 2 doesn't reinvent the mini drone, but it absolutely refines it. It's steadier, smarter, and more cinematic. It fixes almost every small frustration Neo owners had, while keeping that same lightweight, go-anywhere charm. So whether you're filming travel vlogs, urban reels, or just capturing memories from new perspectives, the DJI Neo 2 is easily one of the best pocket drones you can buy right now.